Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Fidelia Aguncha. We begin with the continued trial of former Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Olisa Metu. At the resumed hearing of the case on Friday, Metu alongside his counsel, Emeka Etiaba, were absent in court. The case took a new turn when Metu slumped in court on Monday, with his lawyer requesting to withdraw from the case. Now, since then, the former spokesman who alleged to be ill has failed to show up for his trial, with the judge, Justice Okon Abang, insisting that the case will continue despite his absence. Justice Abang had also overruled Etiaba's application to withdraw from the case, saying it was an attempt to delay the case. Now, Metu, alongside his company, Destra Investment Limited, are being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for an alleged fraud of 400 million naira. Nigerian women are not just seeking for more inclusion in politics, but are demanding for the position of Vice President of Nigeria in subsequent elections in the country. The demand was made on Friday by Nigerian female parliamentarians during a courtesy visit to President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. Speaking on behalf of the delegation, which comprises lawmakers from the 36 states, Elizabeth Ativia said Nigerian women are being marginalized by their male counterparts in the country.
Your Excellency will agree with us that the role of women in national development cannot be overemphasized. Women have the ability to direct, coordinate the home to benefit all members of the family, and this brings stability, peace, and progress. This ability, no doubt, can be used by women to bring about national development. Today, Nigeria falls short of the national gender policy benchmark of 35% minimum representation of women, as well as the global and regional benchmark of which she is a signatory. Nigeria is ranking 181 out of 193 countries in female representation, according to statistics from Interparliamentary Union. Nigeria has gone through 5 elections since 1999. However, the political transformation is still men-dominated. Your Excellency, you know that the last elections, since 1999, we only have one principal officer in the National Assembly in the Senate, and one principal officer at the House of Representatives at the National Assembly. And in the State House of Assembly, we're just only 5%. Women are 5% of the total population of elected members of the State House of Assembly. And we feel that this is not good enough for all the efforts that we women have put in the development of this country, particularly in politics. Your Excellency, you agree with us that women are very loyal members of the party. In all the political parties, women do not cross carpets, and we feel that the trend now needs to be revised. And we feel, Your Excellency, that you are the only one who can do it now. If it is not done now, for us women, we have lost it.
In his response, President Muhammadu Buhari assured that he will look into their demands, but also suggested that it was not his call alone. He also sought the support of the women in the 2019 general elections.
I have listened to your demands. I am not all that powerful as you suggested, that when I talk it becomes a decree. This is not a military regime. In fact, this was why I decided, having been here in uniform, I decided that let me try it in Agbada. And what I went through, I've just told you, I was in Supreme Court 3 times before the first time God agreed, and I ended up here. And now I came out and said that I'm looking for the second term. So I am extending that demand through you to your colleagues in all your constituencies. So I thank you very much for this visit. I very much appreciate it. As I said, it's only the Vice President who is quite threatened now, and I will tell him that if we win the next election, he may lose his position.
Nigerians have been reacting to the perceived face-off between former President Olusegun Obasanjo and President Muhammadu Buhari. Speaking to TV360, some members of the public expressed displeasure that the Buhari-led administration is facing too many distractions. Others urged former President Obasanjo to come out clean on the issue of the $16 billion power project during his administration. Corruption has always been a major issue in Nigeria, and some Nigerians believe President Buhari is on the right track to fix the country. They also want the fight against corruption to be transparent and fair to all.
He was one of the people that said we should support Buhari for coming to power. Then, what is it that he has seen? He was there for so many years, for about 8 years, excluding the period of his military rulership. Then what did he not do that he is now advocating that people should come together? Yes, I support Buhari for whatever he's doing. Anti-corruption war, yes, it is good. But the thing is that the method of doing it should be more refined than what we are seeing now. That whenever anybody raises an eyebrow concerning his age, his health status, and his method of fighting corruption, then the next thing, they will be hounding the person. If actually Chief Obasanjo was involved in anything, yes, I am not advocating for maybe that the man should be left. If it is established that there was a lot of things that happened, why did they not open the can before now?
Nobody in this country, not even abroad, can say Buhari is a liar. Buhari is not a liar. Buhari has never told a lie. If Buhari could come out to say Obasanjo has blown 16 million naira US dollars on electricity, it's nothing but a fact. So the issue of being sentimental on it is not the best.
If Obasanjo has not spoken, does it mean that he won't do the right thing? He has been voted into office since 2015, and now we are in what? 2018. 3 years after his government, because somebody tried to what? Correct you out of what you are doing wrong. Now you now felt, okay, you want to witch hunt him. I think they are not serious.
Between two of them, I don't know, one the former president and now the present president. The most important thing is Obasanjo should allow Buhari to work. Because one, the most important thing that the people want to see, they want to see the change that the APC is talking about. And the APC are really giving us the change that we've been looking for.
Is there any iota of truth in what Obasanjo have said or not? What about Buhari's reply? Is there any iota of truth on what Buhari has replied? If those are the facts, then why I call it face off? The issue is that this administration has performed abysmally low.
Senate President Bukola Saraki has denied any disagreements between the executive and legislature. Saraki told State House reporters after a visit to President Buhari that there is no rift between the National Assembly and the presidency. He said both arms of the government enjoy a cordial relationship and dismissed reports suggesting otherwise.
I don't think it's a spirit of new relationship. I think it's a spirit of what has always existed. As you all know, unfortunately, the president wasn't here this time. I'm sure he would have been invited, and this time too. It's a tradition. I think it's all part of working together. As I said, whether you're legislative or you're executive, we're one government, all to serve the Nigerian people. And I think it's good for Nigerians to see more and more together, so that because some of the things that even me too, I read that you people write. If I don't read it well, I wonder whether it's the same place. So, as I say, things are good, things are working well, and you saw that here. And we'll continue to do our best for the country as one team. There's only one team, one government.
Bayelsa State Governor Saraki Dixon has joined his voice to growing call for power devolution. Dixon, briefing newsmen after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, said Nigeria was in dire need of power devolution. He stressed the need to expand the scope of consultation on the restructuring, saying that all parts of Nigeria needed to be carried along, especially the leadership of northern Nigeria.
We talked about the need to revisit the brass LNG. We talked about the need for a change in the approach to security management in the Niger Delta. We talked about the challenges of stabilizing the Niger Delta and the need for federal support. We talked about a whole range of other issues, including what we think should be the federal response to the ongoing debate about devolution. And I believe that we've had a very fruitful interaction. A few days ago, I was in Kaduna to confer with my brother and friend and colleague, the governor of Kaduna State. As you know, he shared the APC's panel restructuring or devolution. And that panel, as far as I'm concerned, did a good job. What we need is, and what we agreed upon, is to expand the scope of consultation. My view is that all parts of Nigeria need to be carried along. And especially the leadership of northern Nigeria needs to be engaged, needs to be contracted, and their buy-in and support is not only essential, it is indispensable to the success of the new Nigeria that we're trying to craft. And so, not only have I just visited Governor El-Rufai, in the next coming days and weeks, I will be visiting a lot of my colleagues in other parts of the country. I will be visiting and interacting with a lot of other opinion leaders and stakeholders. Because you see, we are talking about our country, and every part of the country has to be carried along. We need to interact and know what their fears and concerns and perspectives are, so that we can, at the end, craft a position that represents the collective aspirations of all parts of our country.
The All Progressives Congress APC has inaugurated a 77-member National Campaign Council to ensure victory for the party's governorship candidate, Kayode Fayemi, at the July 14 Ekiti governorship election. The committee, inaugurated by the party's Deputy National Chairman in the North, Lawali Shuaibu, on behalf of the National Chairman, John Oyegun, is headed by the Governor of Kebbi State, Abubakar Bagudu. The campaign council consists of 14 governors, ministers, some members of the party's National Working Committee, National Assembly members, and senior party leaders.
The level of importance of Ekiti State election is just slightly below the importance of a presidential election to us. I just want to give you this message. We are not going to relent in our effort to ensure we take that state. And the responsibility rests on your shoulders. In the exercise of the party's authority in your assignment in this state, please avoid hate speech. Let us try to ensure that we don't use hate speech during our campaigns. If any other party does that, all our concern should be to try and see that we capture the hearts of the Ekiti people in order to bring to an end the 4-year comedy that has been going on there.
We should be able to map out how we will win election in Ekiti State. For many reasons, as I said, for many reasons, we have faced enough of affront as a party. Challenge has been thrown to us, not only by PDP, but my brother Ayo Fayoshe is there. He's thrown a lot of challenge to us. So we must be united to confront that challenge. Anything outside that, then it follows that we are not serious as a party. So I can assure you, on behalf of the chairman, that I stand in for now, that we will give all of us everything we have to ensure that we win Ekiti State for APC.
Bauchi State Governor Abdullahi Abubakar has again reacted to the resignation of his deputy, Nuhu Gidado. Gidado announced his resignation on Wednesday, a day after returning from an official trip. Speaking to State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, Abubakar insisted he has no problem with Gidado and has accepted his resignation.
I think what transpired is in the letter of the Deputy Governor. I think people should read that letter. Read the entire letter and you will see that there was nothing bad that transpired between us. His final paragraph is that he remains loyal to his leader and his brother. All right, and in my response, I eulogized him, and then I wished him the best in his future endeavors, and I assured him of the support of the government and good people of Bauchi State. So there is no problem whatsoever. The word resignation connotes a will on the part of the person who has authored the letter. He authored his letter willingly, and there is no way you can force him to accept an employment for which he believes the time has come for him to look elsewhere. So we had the most fantastic working relationship. In his words, you can ask him. He has said several times that he's the most pampered deputy governor in Nigeria.
Members of Boitier community in Lamrude local government area of Adamawa State have staged a protest march against the killing of innocent residents by suspected herdsmen. The protesters marched to the House of Representatives on Thursday, urging the government to address the issue before it gets out of hand. Conveying their message to the lawmaker, their spokesperson, Garba Yedi Makudon, said no fewer than 600 people have been killed, with over 21 villages completely razed down in recent attacks.
Dressed in black, carrying placards and banners with different inscriptions on it, these are indigents of Niman Federation from Boitier tribe. The people of Boitier are found in at least 11 local governments in Adamawa State. The purpose for this protest is simple. They want an end to the attacks on their land.
Since 2017, to be precise, December 4th, last year, we've been witnessing a number of killings, a number of attacks on our communities. So we have lost several people, up to 600 people, cut across 7 local government areas of the state. And even some 2 weeks ago, even last week, we lost quite a number of people in Waduku, in Lamrude local government. So at the last count, we lost about 21 villages that were completely razed down by the herdsmen.
We are asking government to help us. We need peace in our place. We need peace in our local governments, our villages. Because now we are not in peace. All our people have been killed. All our property have been burned. We need peace. We need government to take action and help us.
These people, were the ones that voted them in? Did they vote themselves inside? Where are their children? Where are their own families? Is their family surviving where they are? They took them abroad to go and solve their problems and do whatever they want to do there abroad. We're here at the daytime, we'll come in the sun and we'll suffer ourselves to vote them. And by the end of the day, they will come back to show us that they don't know us. Can they tell us that what is happening in Numan local government, they are not aware?
Women, men, young girls and boys, and even the elderly say they are in Abuja to meet with their representatives in the National Assembly, whom they say are not doing enough to stop the killings going on in their land.
Everywhere, every day, from one death to another, we are really tired and we really want a break. We don't know what the government is doing and we really want to know. We're very, very tired. The situation is so bad, it's terrible. We can't even say anything about it.
When you are voted in and you don't talk, that is not good. It does not augur well for our people, for the country. Because the government has taken sides. They have taken sides. They are partisan. Why will they keep quiet and see people? I mean, lands don't move. Numan Federation cannot move. People move and come and meet Numan Federation here. We have they've never known us to walk around and look for trouble. We are in a permanent place, and they will come here and kill people and just go away. What?
Need peace. We are tired. They should help us because we help them. Their children are not in the country. Their children are outside country, and we are the one that used to elect them. So why things are happening? Are we not a citizen? So they support us. We need peace in our land. We can't move on. We stand firm. We cannot move on. That's where we belong to.
The protesters say they need assurances from government that the land will not be run over anymore.
You're still watching News Now. Up next is Business News. Just stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
Madam, madam, welcome. Okay, madam, no worry. When you deliver the balance, we'll give you the goods.
No problem, no problem. All right, so now well done.
Thank you. Hey, Oga, I still say she don't bring money. Maybe we'll use this one for her now. She wants mahogany, not white wood. Oga, our work now to join wood together, deliver whatever to customer. Put the remaining profit for pocket.
Abba, this is corruption, not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
$100,000 people to get only 10 people to register to vote, 10 new voters. Each of us standing here today, when you get back home, when you get to your place of work, your school, try and get 10 new people that do not have their PVC to register to vote. We're going to take on our website, onevoice.ng, please go there, give us the information. If you get 10 people to vote, then you're amongst us.
So at least start with your voter's card and begin to use that to bargain about the type of person you want to see on February 16, 2019 and March 2nd on the ballot paper.
So we want to focus on people who haven't voted before. It's 100,000 people who are looking to pledge that because that gives us a minimum of 1 million new voters.
Instead of to say, oh, my vote no go count now. Try vote first, then you see whether it will count, you know.
I am Esther Vese. Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has injected an additional $100 million into the foreign exchange market. The bank said in a statement that the additional injection of funds was to cater for the personal needs of Nigerians who may want to travel to fulfill personal obligations, particularly for pilgrimage. The bank said the move was to safeguard the interests of customers seeking to purchase foreign exchange for personal obligations and checkmate any attempt at causing panic in the market. The Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, has distributed 701.022 billion naira to the 3 tiers of government as disbursements for the month of May 2018. The figure is an improvement from the 626.8 billion naira shared in April. Now, while addressing the press at the end of the FAC meeting in Abuja, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Finance, Mahmoud Duse, said the federal government got 289.045 billion naira, states got 181.963 billion naira, while local government areas received 137.327 billion naira.
The federal government got a share of 276.5 billion, states 140.26 billion, local governments 108 billion, and then states under the derivation principle got 49.75 billion. Value added tax also increased like other revenue lines from 83.7 billion the previous month to 87.965 billion. And after the usual deductions, the amount is distributed as follows: federal government 12.5 billion, states 41.7 billion, and local governments 29.19 billion. So aggregating everything, all the revenue lines, including VAT, we have a figure of 613 billion, which is an increase of 132.5 billion compared to the 480 billion we had last month. And when you add VAT, you have gross revenue, total gross revenue, 701 billion. And out of that, as I said, we took out 24.5 billion and credited the amount to the excess crude account. I mentioned things have improved, as I said, this month, and we are now in a position to start saving again in the interest of the economy. So as the economy picks up, activities are picking up, we should expect to see more revenues, and will then be in a better position to allocate more towards saving for any rainy days that might come up again.
The discussion has commenced within us to see how we can be able to have a realistic and a justifiable review of revenue sharing formulas, because we believe as state, most people are residing in the states and local government level. If you ask me federal government, I will just tell you maybe it's Abuja and some other places. But where the real Nigerians are, they reside in states and local governments. So I believe that the states and local governments should have more revenues, so that they will work for people, and people will have will feel the impact and the presence of government. Yeah, this is not to take note of other burdens that is on federal government, particularly the security. All right, we are mindful of that, but that does not mean we will not push for the revenue sharing formula to be reviewed. We are doing that, and at an appropriate time, we will make an announcement in that regard.
Oil prices fell more than 2% today as Saudi Arabia and Russia said they were ready to ease supply curbs that have pushed crude prices to their highest since 2014. Brent crude futures were down $1.77 at $77.02 a barrel, while U.S. crude futures were at $68.84 a barrel, down $1.87. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and a group of non-OPEC producers led by Russia started withholding output in 2017 in order to tighten the market and prop up prices. Meanwhile, global crude supplies have tightened sharply over the past year as a result of the OPEC-led cuts, which were boosted by a dramatic drop in Venezuelan production. But the near doubling in oil prices over the past year has sparked concerns among top consuming nations such as China and India that the rally could weigh on economic growth. More profit-taking pushed the oil share index further down by 1.01% at the end of today's trading, with the oil share index closing at 39,323 basis points and market capitalization at 14.244 trillion naira. As bearish sentiments prevailed for the fifth market day this week, today's price charts recorded 22 gainers led by Mrs. Oil Nigeria, UAC of Nigeria, Fitin Healthcare, and Ikeja Hotel against 42 decliners led by Guinness, Flour Mills of Nigeria, Unilever, and Julius Berger. Meanwhile, First City Monument Bank, Zenith Bank, UBA, and Regency Alliance Insurance Company dominated the traders' chart. The overall value of shares traded stood at 2.949 billion naira for 295.996 million shares in 4,111 deals. Well, that's business news this week. Thank you for watching. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
People to get only 10 people to register to vote, 10 new voters. Each of us standing here today, when you get back home, when you get to your place of work, your school, try and get 10 new people that do not have their PVC to register to vote. We're going to take on our website onevoice.ng. Please go there, give us the information. If you get 10 people to vote, then you are amongst us.
So at least start with your voter's card. and begin to use that to bargain about the type of person you want to see on February 16, 2019 and March 2nd on the ballot paper.
So we want to focus on people who haven't voted before. It's 100,000 people who are looking to pleasure because that gives us a minimum of 1 million new voters.
Instead of to say, oh, my vote no go count now. Try vote first, let you see whether it go count, you know.
Glad to have you back. 49 people have died after a boat tipped over in Northern Democratic Republic of Congo. Vice Governor of the Shuapa province, where the incident occurred, said 49 people also survived the incident. Now, deadly boat accidents are common in Congo, a vast forested country which has few roads outside of major towns and is carved up by a network of rivers that drain the Congo basin. For most people, these rivers are the only means of traveling over long distances. Fighting between Somalia's Puntland region and breakaway Somaliland has killed dozens of people, authorities said on Friday. The clash, which began on Thursday morning, appeared to be a resumption of more than 10 years of periodic conflict between both sides over the disputed Sool region. Now, according to a local leader, over 45 people, including soldiers and civilians, have been killed, with hundreds displaced since the fighting broke out on Thursday. On to sports now. Egypt's coach Hector Cooper has expressed optimism that with the right mindset, his team can win the World Cup in Russia. Cooper said this at a press conference ahead of the friendly match between Egypt and Kuwait in preparation for the World Cup. Now, Egypt will face Kuwait on May 26, Colombia on June 1st, and Belgium on June 6. Cooper pointed out that the aim of these three friendly matches is to settle on the 23-player squad that will play in the World Cup for the nation. Five-time champion Liverpool will battle 12-time winners Real Madrid in the 2018 UEFA Champions League final on Saturday. The final will take place in Kiev, with kickoff slated for 7:45 p.m. Liverpool will be looking for a first title since 2005, while Madrid are seeking a historic third title in a row. Liverpool's Jurgen Klopp will also be seeking a banish to a personal demon, having lost three straight finals, including the 2013 Champions League final to Bayern Munich. German prosecutors have charged Bayern Munich midfielder Arturo Vidal for violent behavior. A spokesman for the prosecutor's office in Munich said Vidal could face a sentence of up to 10 years over the fight in a local disco hall in September last year. He is accused of involvement in a verbal and then physical altercation in September 2017. Now, the Munich District Court must now decide whether the case against the 31-year-old Chilean will go to trial. For that, it's on News Now. Do log on to our website at www.tv360nigeria.com to get news updates and watch more of our programs. You can also watch us on Facebook at facebook.com/TV360online and on Twitter at twitter.com/TV360Nigeria. We are also live on YouTube at youtube.com/TV360Nigeria, and we are also on Google Plus, and our handle is TV360 Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching. I am Fidelia Aguncha. Bye for now.